Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher. Welcome to Sweetwater's iOS Update. This time out, I've got a new MIDI controller keyboard, I've got a digital synthesizer, and I've got an accessory that will help you transport your iPad in complete safety. Let's get started. The iRig keys from IK Multimedia is a USB and iOS-based keyboard controller for synthesizers running either in your iOS device or on your computer. The iRig keys has 37 mini keys. They are velocity sensitive. There's a pitch bend wheel, mod wheel, a MIDI volume controller. It sends out a controller number 7. There's a pair of switches for setting the octave for the keyboard and also a pair of switches for sending program change messages. And what's very nice in a keyboard of this size is it does have a sustain pedal input as well. A nice thing about the iRig keys is it does have 5 presets on board. One of those is a default preset, and 4 of the others can store your user configured settings for octave and other parameters in the keyboard. The iRig keys is a bus-powered device, which means that it draws its power over the 30-pin connector when you're hooked up to an iOS device. If you're hooked up by USB to your computer, it draws power over USB bus power, and that makes the whole system portable, so you can pick it up, take it with you wherever you want to go. The synthesizer you heard during the demonstration of the iRig keys is the PPG Wavegenerator developed by Wolfgang Palm. Now you may remember PPG's keyboards from the 80s and 90s. Those were digital keyboards that were based around wavetable technology. Basically they had a collection of small samples on board and stepped through those samples to create the sounds that they generated. Now this version that runs on iOS devices is very powerful and very deep. You can really get in and tweak the parameters, and you can really work with the waveforms as well. We have displays here for a wave editor. You can draw your own waves in. There's a spectrum editor. When we look at the parameter page, there's a lot of different parameters that you can work with for synthesis power. There's a filter, there's noise generators, arpeggiators, there's a delay on board, LFOs, amplifiers. On the setup page, we have control over external MIDI controllers. There's a MIDI monitor, so you can see continuous controllers that are happening. You can also set the audio quality from a consumer rate of 22.05 kilohertz up to a CD rate of 44.1 kilohertz. If you're playing Wavegenerator on your iOS device without a MIDI controller, you have a choice of 4 different keyboard layouts that you can choose from. Here we've got a single row where the sharps and flats are basically in the same row as the white notes would be. You also can choose what's called the single W, where the sharps and flats are raised a bit. We have a traditional piano layout, and there's a double layout as well, where the sharps and flats are even higher than they are in a traditional piano layout. There's an onboard audio recorder, and you can copy and paste from that using the audio paste function in iOS. You also can export directly into iTunes from within Wavegenerator. Wavegenerator comes with a wide variety of pre-programmed factory sounds. They're broken up into to different categories. Here we have special effects. We've also got basses. We've got lead sound. We've got key sounds. And of course, we also have wavetable sounds. Now, wavetable sounds are set up so that it steps through the wavetable and plays different samples in sequence. Lots and lots of different sounds available in this synthesizer, everything from very digital sounds to very analog type sounds. With the delay and with the arpeggiator on board, you can really make some complex timbres. To create new sounds, you can use one of the factory sounds as a basis and build from there, or you can start from scratch and create your own banks of sounds that you can then load in. A unique feature of Wavegenerator is that we can actually use an image to generate the wavetable that we're working with. So here we've imported an image of a baritone 12-string guitar. You can take photos with the camera on board your iOS device and use those, or you can import images from the camera roll in your iOS device. Now here's what our original sound is without using this as the basis for it. So this is the way the actual factory preset sounds. Now we transform the image into an audio waveform that becomes part of the wavetable. So you can see the image changed here. This is basically a transform of that original image, and this is what that preset now sounds like using that as the oscillator. Now we can tweak that using all the synthesis parameters, so this is really a powerful tool for creating new sounds. PPG Wavegenerator may be a little bit more expensive than some of the other synthesizers we've looked at, but it really is a great resource if you're looking to create fresh sounds using your iOS device. There are a lot of ways to keep your iPad safe when you're away from home. This is a new one that just came across my desk. This is from Namba gear, and it's the Kucha iPad messenger bag. And what I like about this bag is that in addition to having various compartments for cables, microphones, for a small keyboard controller, any accessories you might want to take with you, there's also a space inside that's set up specifically to hold the iPad with a latch here, and that's a padded sleeve that it slides into. But beyond that, we have a larger compartment that can be divided using this divider, and into that you can actually slide an Alesis I/O dock. Now the I/O dock slides right in, it's held firmly, and again everything is padded so you aren't risking your iPad or your I/O dock. It's one of the few bags I've come across that's large enough to hold an iPad and the I/O dock as well as all of your accessories at the same time. Thanks for joining me for Sweetwater's iOS update. Be sure to tune in next time. We'll have more apps, hardware accessories, and tech tips on making music using your iOS devices. I'm Mitch Gallagher.